I don't think anyone needs training to be an actor. I think you can be talented without training. Training helps you hone skills, but it's not necessary. People have talent.
Hi, I'm Stephen Stead. I'm both an actor and a director, and I'm the executive director of Kickstart Theatre in Durban. The most common form of training for actors is to go to a drama school or a university which teaches drama exclusively and get a broad-based general 2 or 3 year diploma or degree which is exclusively dedicated to the science of acting. Although you could just go into the business and take your chances and learn by experience.
The first question that I was asked was what training is required to become an actor, and it's a very interesting one because lots of us, particularly the older members of the fraternity like myself, did train, and we went to university, a lot of us, and did a degree in an undergraduate degree in majoring in drama or dramatic studies, and then some of us went on to do honours degrees and master's degrees, and also the technical colleges, which offer a very similar package. The truth is, though, that sometimes you don't need to train. Sometimes you just need to get involved as young as you can and make yourself known to companies, and if you've got the talent, you'll be snapped up. That's the way it works. So yeah, it just depends, but I would say to a young person, just start auditioning for anything and everything, get involved in professional productions if you can, work backstage, so people know who you are.
So I think that training that is required to become an actor is university training, which is a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, and there's also the option to actually join a company and practically work with a theatre company, I think is also an option.
The wonderful thing about acting is that there is no specific training required to be an actor. I think it's absolutely essential to train your voice and be physically fit, because your voice and your body are your tools when you're becoming an actor. You've got to keep your mind fit as well. You've got to keep your instincts strong. So as much practical experience as you can get, the better. I would recommend a degree in performance or some kind of training with people with experience is absolutely invaluable. But getting that practical experience and learning from people in the industry are the most invaluable tools that I can recommend for anyone wanting to become an actor.
In terms of training for actors, I would say if you can study, if you have the opportunity, that's fantastic. There are many tools you can pick up that way. I don't think it's vital. Don't think it's absolutely necessary. If you can't study, I think it's a great idea to just surround yourself with the people that you admire, get jobs doing anything on film sets, TV sets, talk to actors, talk to ushers, talk to the people around actors, spend as much time in the theatre as you can, gain the experience.
The training, I think, is important to become an actor. I think is more the technical side. You can have all the talent in the world, but if the audience can't hear you, then it's not going to be much use. So things like projection, enunciation, the ability to or techniques whereby you can access emotions and to portray them on stage. I think those are the things that you need to work hard on.
Sure, auditions are tough things because it's like taking a driving license. It's your driving test. I mean, it's nerve-wracking, but know your stuff, know your lines, know your character. That's important. Even if you maybe create a little interesting line along the way, as long as your character's there, the auditioner, the director, the casting agent, whatever, can see that that character's there.
Do not step foot into that room unless you know your lines. Unless you know them so well you don't have to think about them. If you don't do that, it's disrespectful and you are wasting everybody's time. Also for yourself, it allows you to free up so that the emotions can play and your brain's not thinking of what word comes after and. Know your lines.
I think the most important thing for actors to remember in an audition is that the people who are auditioning them really want them to succeed. So don't be frightened or nervous. Just do your very best, because that's what the director and the choreographer want to see. They don't want to sit there wasting their time on someone who doesn't believe in themselves. And secondly, prepare well, and make sure that you understand what is required of you in terms of the role and the style of the show and the tone of the play.
I think practice is the first thing, and the second thing is to also have a second option to offer that shows how diverse you are as an actor, and be open-minded, and also expect that you might not get the role. And that's just how it is when you're an actor. There's never a guarantee that you get the role.
The most important tool I can honestly suggest to anyone who is preparing for an audition, or is attending an audition, is to be prepared. You can never be prepared enough. You're always going to be nervous when you go to an audition. So the more prepared you are, the more you can handle the nerves. If you think you've rehearse 10 times more. Always ask a friend to work opposite you so that you have that feeling of being with somebody else in the room. Make sure you know your lines more than well. Make sure that you know what choices you're going to make in the audition. Make sure that they're bold choices. Don't think, oh, I might just try this on the day, or I'm going to wing it this way or that way. Just always be prepared and know what choices you're going to make, and know who the character is that you are going to be portraying in the audition. So preparation is key. That is my number one suggestion for anyone attending an audition.
If you are invited to an audition, or you are booked and you have a slot for an audition, it's also very difficult because it depends on the director's preferences, which you probably won't know going in. I, as a director, am a little bit intimidated when people come along completely dressed for the role. Not really interested in that. I'm interested in their acting ability, or if it's a musical, their dancing and singing and acting ability. And if it's a musical, you will be put through all those processes within the space of your audition. I think the best thing to do is to be well prepared. Whatever you've been asked to bring, make sure that it's suitable. If you've been asked to bring pieces of your own choosing, it's wise to find pieces either from the play that you're auditioning for, or for a similar kind of genre. So if you're going in to do a Greek messenger speech, say, or a tragic piece from Shakespeare, don't take a comedy monologue. Take something that is similar to what it is that you will be asked to read for. And of course, the one thing that needs to be said is try and relax. It never happens. Well, not for me anyway. I'm always incredibly nervous going into auditions. But be prepared, be well prepared, and that will hold you in very good stead.
Hello, my name is Mthokozisi Zulu, and I am a theatre practitioner and filmmaker. Never cheat yourself. Always give your best. In everything that you do, give it your all.
Oh, the roles I like. There's so many. I don't know. Anything that's challenging, anything that really pushes me to go places that I wouldn't ordinarily go. That's what I enjoy.
I think I enjoy roles where I have to basically be the best that I can be. So I enjoy roles that are challenging. I enjoy roles that keep me on my feet. I also enjoy having to show, everything that I can do as an actress.
What characters do I like to portray? My favorite kinds of characters are based in real life characters. That's more of a naturalistic style, I suppose, quite filmic. And rooted in that real reality. I always call the kind of theatre, my favorite kind of theatre, fly on the wall theatre. So the characters that I love to play is when you get a real window into the life of that person, and a view into their world in a very natural, very real life way, very truthful way.
Boys, I love playing boys because of their high energy. Because I'm not a boy, I'm a girl, so it's nice to be able to escape into that playful world again.
I would have to say that the thing that I really like playing the most is comedy, but I tend to get given a lot of serious roles, a lot of dramatic roles, which I find a lot of joy in. But I love playing comedy, and the more ridiculous, the happier I am. So, but I do believe that you've got to be versatile and you've got to play everything that you can play. I think my skill set probably lies more with drama roles, but my comic timing is not shocking, so I really enjoy having a good old romp around stage.
I personally enjoy playing roles which have some emotional depth and also have quite complicated texts. I love literature, and so I really enjoy getting my head around complex writing and getting my mouth and teeth and tongue around complex writing, but also wrapping my heart in that writing.
My favorite roles to play are comedy roles. I think growing up in a household where laughter was just abounding, we all laugh, we love to make each other laugh. And so I think those roles, they could be silly or just clever or whatever it is, but if the audience is laughing along with me, then I'm usually enjoying myself, and I enjoy that, yeah. Bringing joy. There's enough bad news in the world. I think it's quite nice to bring some joy every now and again.
My kind of preparation before a show would be just to try and find a calm, try and find that place of calm. So the rehearsals happen to get you to a point where you know your stuff, you know what it is that you're doing. So at this point, before a show, you just need to find that kind of calm and focus. Focus is vital.
What preparation a cast does is entirely dependent on the kind of work, I do a lot of musicals and work where I sing, in which case we spend a lot of time warming up the voice. Even in depends on the company too. Companies that I've worked with always begin with a warm-up, both physical and vocal. Then you go, obviously, and get your costume ready. There's a certain amount of concentration, getting yourself ready, not just the face and appearance, but mentally ready for what you're going to do. So it's about a level of concentration. But for me, the most important, I think, is bonding with the cast, whether it's through warm-up, whether it's through sitting in the green room having a chat before we getting ready to go put our makeup on or something, because you're going to rely on that cast a lot when you're on stage, and it's good to have a good relationship with everyone, good bond.
The hour or two before an actor steps onto the stage are just as important as the hours he will spend on the stage itself performing. The ritual preparation for performances will vary from actor to actor, but it will usually involve stretching, breathing, and articulation and resonance work on the vocals, as well as just getting yourself into a headspace for performing itself by being quiet, focused, and meditative.
The preparation that an actor does in the hours before performance are vocal based, to warm up the voice, because when you're nervous your voice can close off, go higher, and a lot of breathing to calm your heartbeat down so that the adrenaline can come through in a positive way, read positive to the audience, and you're not so in a nervous kind of turmoil that you forget your lines and blank, and that breathing and vocals and physical warm-up.
In terms of preparation before a performance, I'm a very anxious performer. I get very nervous. I've got a fight or flight thing going on, and I have to just focus on not jumping in my car and driving away from the theatre. That's my biggest problem. So I like to get to the theatre very, very early, and I have little rituals that I do that calm me, and then always an hour before the audience comes in, I go up onto the stage and I do a solo warm-up by myself. Physical, vocal. I walk around the auditorium just to try and familiarize myself and make it feel like how easy it is actually to be sitting in the audience, and how you just want to be entertained. It's not such a terrifying thing. Those things help a little bit. It doesn't mean that I am any less nervous. But it's everyone does something different. Some people can chat for hours in the green room and then just put their coffee down and walk on stage. I'm jealous of them. I need a lot of quiet time. And I'm not superstitious, but I am about this. So if I put my microphone on at a certain time and I have my energy at a certain time, and if that goes out of whack, then I'm convinced that the world is going to fall on my head. So everyone has their own things that they need to do to prepare themselves.
Everyone prepares differently just before they're about to go on stage. I think it also depends on the role and the style of theatre that you're doing. Some roles require a very physical warm-up. Some roles require an extreme vocal warm-up. But what I do is I like to warm up my body. I do about a 20-minute physical warm-up, and depending on the role I'm playing is how much I warm up my voice, but I normally spend about 10 minutes or so warming up my voice. And then for me, the most important thing is focus. So I take quite a bit of time to relax and focus, because without relaxation, there's only result, and it's really important to go on that journey throughout the play and with the character. So focus and relaxation for me are the most important, and I spend quite a bit of time on that.
Preparation before the performance. Again, practice, practice, practice. I think the most important thing about acting is that it's all about practice, but practice in such a way that it's also not boring. You have to keep it fresh at the same time. Before a performance, I get a lot of sleep. I try to relax. I eat really well in case I'm not able to eat, or in case I'm too nervous to eat just before. So I eat quite earlier on in the day and get my body to feel really as good as it possibly can.
Oh, I don't know what my favorite role has been. I've loved playing Seymour in A Little Shop of Horrors. I love playing Tobias in Sweeney Todd. I love playing Jakob in my one-man show, Jakob. I don't know.
My favorite role, I think, has been in Tin Bucket Drum, because of the amount of energy that I had to put in it, and because of the creation of the role, and because of the power that I felt I had as the performer in playing all the roles and creating the story and creating the world of the whole show.
The role that has been my favorite to date has to be Buttons in Cinderella. I loved that character because he was able to communicate with the audience and also with the characters on stage. So I was able to become a bridge between the two, between the audience and the cast members and the story. And that in itself was a beautiful experience, because I got to be with the audience throughout the journey, but also with Miss Cinders.
My favorite role as an actress, that's a tough one because I'm not really a favorites kind of girl. I've played amazing roles. Venus and Venus in Fur was an incredible role. Well, it was Vanda and Venus. And one of my big memories and standout roles for me was a character I actually wrote myself in a play. I wrote myself, Mind Sold Out. And the character was loosely based on my husband's grandmother. And I felt very close to the character. I'd done a lot of research. The story was important to me. And it was an important time for me as a writer and as an actress. And I really, really enjoyed diving into that role and portraying that character. It was very close to my heart in a special time.
When I get asked what my favorite role is or has been, I generally say it's the role I'm playing at the moment. I have loved playing Peter Pan, I've played Ariel, I've played Puck, but the most satisfying and memorable has been very recently playing King Arthur in Camelot, which has enormous emotional resonance for me.
It's quite tough for me to choose a favorite role. I think my sentimental favorite might be Winnie the Pooh for Kickstart, where just because you come on stage in the beginning and the audience just gasps. The little girls and boys in the audience are like, they're so overjoyed and so overwhelmed and so amazed to see one of their favorite characters come to life, and the joy that you bring as an actor in that role to an audience is it's just the most pure, beautiful joy, you know. So that's one favorite. And then also I've done a lot of work, you know, with my friends Brian Hiles and Darren King, where we kind of we play ourselves, but we do like a heightened version of it, like an exaggerated version of ourselves, like caricatures. So it's quite fun to take your flaws or the essence of your character and then enhance it for comedy, you know.
My favourite role to date was a comedy role. It was a woman by the name of Anna in a wonderful David Mamet play called Boston Marriage. And it was that kind of comedy that I was talking to you earlier about. Very stiff Victorian costumes and all laced in and all very tight. And, but she was so badly behaved. Swore all the time, fell over the furniture, slapped people. She just was the most revolting human being. And because of that, just so very, very funny. And it was as much as I could do not to laugh at myself when I was playing her, because she is so great.
Playing the boy in a show written and directed by Michael Taylor Broderick called The King of Broken Things. Also, it's my first ever one-man woman show.
Best advice I can give actually also is it's just what Dame Shirley Bassey said. At the age of 4,008, which she is now, she still goes to a voice coach, and when they asked her why, she said, well, as I've aged, my voice has changed. And so my coach and I work ways where I can still sing. And I think what you can draw from that is don't ever think you know it all. Always be ready to learn, because in a career where you'll play many different parts, you'll just, if you stop learning, you'll stagnate, and then that'll be the end of you. So be open.
It's been really, really lovely to talk to you all, guys. And if you're interested in this as a career, go for it. Go for it. All guns blazing. Get involved in everything from crew to painting the floor to whatever. Just be there. Make yourself available and breathe it in as a whole thing. Don't expect anyone to come to you with a script and a spotlight and say you're a star, because it just doesn't happen. And it's also not as rewarding as just being involved in all of it. So lots of love and luck to you all. Take